The now defunct and liquidated mutual bank VBS, essentially saying that that particular credit card or bank card of Mahuna Investments that was there in every town, whether it lent debates in the Northwest Province, whether it be Durban, at the Durban July, it was his brother who was making those payments with that particular card, even saying that today, when we had that engagement with him at the EFF headquarters, that card may have been used, despite us not actually seeing that particular brother of his, but he's basically saying that it's his brothers and relatives that are in business, and it's not him, and he doesn't benefit either from Sakatara or Mahuna Investments. But what is rather bizarre is that with the various reports that we have seen, Mahuna Investments has been getting a lot of deposits into their particular bank account. There is one particular company in the city of Tshwane which their particular tender to supply that particular metro with diesel and petrol was set aside by the North Gauteng High Court. During the tender adjudication of that particular tender, a sum of 250,000 rands was made into Mahuna Investments. When the tender was awarded, a further 500,000 was made into Mahuna Investments, and 1 million rands was made into DDM Media and Entertainment, a company linked to the Secretary General of the Economic Freedom Fighters, Marshal Dlamini, but Julius Malema saying that he never received any monies from VBS. His brother never received monies from VBS. But interestingly, Samkele Investments, owned by Brian Shivambu, the younger brother of the EFF the deputy president, did receive money from VBS and Vela Investments to Samkele. That money flowed from Samkele to Mahuna Investments.
And Sam, that's exactly what I want to get to. One person who's been implicated since the beginning, Brian Shivambu, the brother of the second in command at the EFF, Floyd Shivambu. This also coming to light that he's cooperating with the VBS liquidators. Tell us a bit about that.
Yes, and Julius Malema says that through his engagements with the EFF Deputy President Floyd Shivambu, Floyd has had numerous engagements with Brian Shivambu on how far the investigations are when it comes to Advocate Terry Mittal's report and the liquidation of that particular bank. Julius Malema saying that Brian Shivambu has been meeting regularly with the liquidators, assisting them whenever they've had queries towards him, and that all is well within that regard. And that, interestingly, Brian Shivambu has never been subjected to any investigation within the Economic Freedom Fighters. For instance, last week, after that particular story which you are working on, when those individuals appeared at the Palm Ridge court on this particular matters of being arrested for VBS, we did a story on Brian Shivambu and the links of the EFF to this particular mutual bank. Brian Shivambu was a delegate at the Second National People's Assembly of the Economic Freedom Fighters in December. It did make some inputs during plenary on various issues there, but the party hasn't deemed it fit for him to be scrutinized or sent to any form of scrutiny or disciplinary.
Sam, would this be perhaps due to the close proximity, given the fact that Brian Shivambu is the brother of Mr. Floyd Shivambu? I heard when journalists asked if he had been subjected to any internal process, it doesn't seem like anything has happened since, and this was a staff member of the Economic Freedom Fighters.
Nothing at all has happened to Brian Shivambu. In fact, Brian Shivambu was an organizer when the EFF was formed, and he later on left there to form his various businesses that he's involved in. One is only a matter of pure speculation of whether the bigger brother Floyd Shivambu uses his political influence just as the same as Julius Malema, whether he uses his political influence for his brothers to benefit from any contracts which the EFF may have particular sway in those particular municipalities, or whether it be in Limpopo, whether it be here in Gauteng, in the Hang metros, Tshwane, and in Johannesburg. But we are seeing that more and more Mahuna Investments, Sakatara, as well, are getting businesses within these particular metros. For instance, you go to Johannesburg to the Fleet contract, which has also been under scrutiny. You go to Tshwane with this BBT deal and petrol contract, which has now been set aside by the North Gauteng High Court. But one may say that at this point in time, Julius Malema says there's no investigation against him. There's no investigation against his those who are close to him, or have close proximity to him. But there is Brian Shivambu, who's being called in by the various liquidators. Criselda, just one last point, which I found very interesting from Julius Malema.
Very quickly, Sam.
He says that the money of On Point Engineers was his money, and that his name is not on any paper that is saying that he stole any money or he signed, but says that he did not benefit from any fraudulent activity. Yet On Point Engineers has just been brought back to court for corruption amounting to a 52 million rands contract in Limpopo. But Julius Malema says that's his money. He was a shareholder through On Point Engineers, through Ratanang Trust.
All right, Sam, thank you very much indeed for that. I'm sure you'll watch developments for us as that indeed goes back to court. SABC political reporter Samkele Maseko, thanks indeed for your time.